Hello, everyone. Good day. And today is a good day for me because today, finally, I get to say, I told you so. So, in yesterday's video, pretty much, and by the way, the day before, I said that the chances for U.S. Israel striking Iran will go up and that we're headed towards war, even though the numbers weren't exactly on my side, and that was before the U.S. Uh, and Iran talked. And today we everything like I think blew up, haha, and we can see a huge shift in the whole bets. I actually like I said what I will do in the past videos, and I was a bit scared, but hey, my profile is up 13% today, so I'm super happy about that. And let's just dive into it and see what's happening, why, and I will try and be helpful. So um, first of all, let's look at the deal market, right? And I said yesterday that like what I expect always after negotiations is that all the sides come out and be like, oh yeah, everything is great, it went amazing, we're making progress, and that's why yesterday I bet that this will go up just so I can sell it later because this is all BS. But yesterday surprised me because it went so bad, the negotiations, that like even when someone tried saying like, oh yeah, we're making progress, it like maybe it held for like an hour or two, but it was pretty clear that this is not not working. Like this thing barely changed. All right. Now look, the more we go, the more I think there are less and less people who should think that this is headed towards a deal. That's my personal opinion, and and I want to go over Ynet today. Ynet is like a pretty big Israeli news source, and the reason why I think it's good to look at Israeli news sources is because probably apart from the U.S., Israel is the most involved in this. They know the most about what's happening, right? And they are pretty straightforward about this. So the assessment in Israel, a large-scale attack coming soon. This is Google translated, by the way, but a large-scale attack is coming to Iran. The cabinet is postponed until Sunday in order to prevent a miscalculation by Iran. And basically, like the official thought in Israel seems to be pretty much what I said yesterday. That like I literally said that if I were Trump, then I would be like, I'm done, right? Yesterday there was no progress made. Iran's deal was like absurd. Oh, it switched to Hebrew. Ooh, let's do it back. Okay. So yesterday's like Iran came with this like really stupid, like they said, oh, don't worry, we have a new really serious proposal, right? And the proposal was basically just like moving, well, we're gonna move some uranium to Russia for 3 years, and then we're just gonna do the same we did before. Obviously, the U.S. is not buying this. I don't think anyone should buy this, and like yeah, it's and while doing that, by the way, they were threatening to sink the U.S. ships. They closed parts of the Strait of Hormuz because, like, for a drill. But this is not a drill. This was like a very aggressive like threat, and I think that the U.S. is done. Maybe they'll meet them again once or so, just like to look better, but that's it. Like I think everyone kind of understands um, that this is not going for a deal. At least this is again my opinion. Maybe I'll regret this later, and my money will regret this as well. But that's what I keep betting on, and now I'm even more sure about this. And again, it seems that Polymarket in general agrees with me. 13% in a day, not bad. Although I am expecting much better odds, and honestly, like I'm really happy that I did what I did, and I think I showed you guys. I shared my strategy a few days ago that I bet on every day, a pretty small sum, but for a month and a half, that like the attack will happen on this day. That was at least my strategy. So let's keep looking into the thing. So the impression in Israel, in any case, and again, bear in mind, like this is the official, like not official as in the official statement, but pretty much like what the official impression in Israel is, like what is Israel acting based on, right? Um, so is that the time of the Zionists? This is a sentence, like this is a phrase. The the actual hour of the attack is approaching, I'm guessing, and the timetables are getting shorter. As if yesterday they talked about 2 weeks, and before that about a month. Now the signs that it's a matter of days again make sense, because like the deal failed, the talks failed. There is a lot of like planes that were moved yesterday and still are like pouring in the Middle East. Another aircraft carrier on the way. Like all the signs point to this, and and it mostly just becomes now a question of when, if is what I'm reading between the lines. On the other hand, there is also the apparent consideration that are supposed to postpone the offensive. For example, the peace council, the Gaza peace council, they mean, is scheduled to be tomorrow. The Winter Olympics, the Ramadan, which is like the sacred month for Muslims. However, it's not clear exactly what I was gonna say. It's not clear how important these considerations are to Trump himself. I'm like, no one knows exactly, if Trump will think like, oh, I should maybe wait a week because of Ramadan or because of the Winter Olympics. But the assumption of work in Israel seems to be that we are days away from war. And this is big because I think Israelis know more than anyone other than the U.S. government itself. Their media is like different than U.S. media. They are kind of more open. I know this will sound weird. I know a lot of people won't, like agree with this, that Israel is actually a trustworthy source. But hey, I don't know how to phrase this other than I don't care about politics in this case. I'm here to make money. And from what I've seen, Israel's reporting is pretty reliable. Generally speaking, you might not like it, you might not like the agenda, and that's fine, but it's pretty reliable, at least, again, my experience is saying so, and this is my channel, so haha. All right. So this is at least what the Israelis have to say. Now what? And look, no one is talking. Like if we will look at this thing, right, until when the strike is going to happen. So suddenly you see like a huge up in the percentage. Suddenly, everyone thinks that the attack is going to happen, like up 28%, 45%, 39%, 21%. And again, I bet not just on that, but my profile went up 13% today, and I'm not selling that. Like I keep it. I think this will skyrocket. At least I'm betting on that. Now, I will tell you one important thing, and that is a big thing to keep in mind. No one is talking anymore. And I said in the first video I did about this topic, I said, you have to understand, nothing ever happens is not relevant for this case. It's just not. If you think that, I think you misunderstand the both Iranian and Israeli and the US perspective. Like, there is no scenario where this gets dragged on for a year. This has only two options. Either there is a deal, right? Or there is war. That's it. Those are the only two scenarios. Because leave the US even for a sec. Like, Israel won't let Iran have ballistic missiles after the last war. Definitely not nukes. They said that like a million times. It's existential for them. This will just like, it's not an option. All right. So there is no way Israel is okay with a deal that, keeps either nukes or ballistic missiles in the Iranian side. They will just attack. If they attack, US gets dragged in. US can't back down, and because obvious reasons, and they can't not reach a deal because then they need to take military assets out, and that pretty much signals weakness. They just can't. They won't. This is not where this is headed. It's either going to be war or a deal. And I think at the moment, at least, no one is even like trying to look as if they're talking. Like this is, look, I might be wrong, and in a few videos I'll be like, fuck, but basically, nah, I don't see a lot of other options. I think everything I'm reading between the lines, everyone are pretty much openly saying we're headed for war. And I want to keep, I'm gonna keep treating the world as if this is what's happening, and that's how I'm analyzing it. Of course, go listen to, don't trust only on my opinion. Go listen to other smart people, or just smart people. But this is what I'm betting on and how I'm playing this. Another thing, really important one before we finish with this for at least for this video is, and this is a really cool, I think, tip, is that, and that's also, by the way, written in somewhere here. Yeah, it is believed that the Houthis will immediately join and launch missiles and drones at Israel. There is also a reasonable scenario in which Hezbollah will not sit on the sidelines like the 12-day war, which I agree. And by the way, Israel has been hammering Hezbollah quite a lot the past month or so, almost daily. And there is this market. Will Israel strike Lebanon on? So... as you can see, I actually placed really small bets, but I did. I also think that if the Iran thing happens, it also influences in that, and I don't see this priced in. Like this is the same as it was days ago, and it's. I don't think this is taking into account that if there is war between U.S., Israel, and Iran, then Hezbollah also goes in, and Israel also bombs. Lebanon and Hezbollah at the same time. So I think this is something Polymarket is missing at the moment, and I think at least I would really recommend people look at this, because I don't think this is factored in here. So this seems underpriced to me at the moment. I'm gonna buy a bit more of those and assume that at least there is a good chance that Israel is kind of forced, or Hezbollah is forced. I don't know. People are forced to shoot at each other, and I think the chances are way more than 50%. Like again, personally, that's my analysis, but this is what we do on this channel, yeah. So I think this is way past 50%. So I'm happy to get all of them. And it's a very basic tip, but I suggest don't bet on like what will happen on February 21. Like I think in general Israel will bomb or attack or strike Lebanon a lot in the next 2 months. So I will keep like putting bets on that, but for a month and a half. It's a whole strategy. It's not about like one day, right? Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Again, this is a new channel trying to, give serious and interesting and good analytics for... I'm suddenly not sure if I was sharing my screen when talking about Lebanon. And if I wasn't, then it's this one. You can find it. It's pretty easy, but, will Israel strike Lebanon on every single day, right? Anyway, sorry if the screen wasn't shared before, but you can see it now. And again, what we're doing here is trying to give more serious analysis to what's happening on Polymarket every day. sometimes a few times a day. So I welcome you to join, share your thoughts, argue with me, tell me what you think. The idea is basically to create a community. So hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. This is really cool to watch. I'm really like excited about this whole thing. As I said many times, one of the more interesting things that happened in recent history, if you ask me. Have a good day, everyone.